Hey there everybody, just doing a review for this ALLPOWERS S300 portable power station. So this unit is a 300 watt continuous max output unit along with a 288 watt hour capacity. And so just taking a look at the box itself right over here that the unit comes in, a pretty plain box. Over the back you do get the specifications right there. And what's included in the box is the power station, of course. You also get a carrying case that you can use to carry the included AC adapter, and the manual is right there as well. And also the carrying case can be useful if you choose to get the 100 watt all power solar panel. ALLPOWERS did send this over for me to take a look at as well. This is a pretty cool solar panel because it comes with two connectors. You get both of these are MC4 connectors. As you can see, MC4 connector right there. However, one of them is a DC cable, and the other MC4 connector uses a Anderson connector right there. Included with the 100 watt solar panel also is the manual, and you also get, this is pretty cool, 3 other adapters. So they don't just want you to have to use this solar panel with this power station. You can also use this solar panel for charging other power stations if you want to. I have used this once so far, and I think I got a 60 watt solar input. So yeah, I will be testing out the solar panel in this review to recharge this ALLPOWERS power station as well. And so yeah, pretty cool solar panel. Comes with a lot of accessories, a lot more than other solar panels can say. And so yeah, that is the 100 watt solar panel right there. Alright you guys, so just taking a closer look at the ALLPOWERS S300 power station. Of course, you probably noticed that it is a pretty small unit. It does have a 8 by 4 by 6.5 inch form factor, and it weighs about 7.4 pounds. So small and lightweight. Of course, you know, when you get a lower capacity unit, they're going to be small and lightweight. That's one of the best things about getting them. You can probably take this anywhere that you want to, except an airplane, of course. But yeah, just taking a look at the unit itself, I mean, over the top, it does have the handle that makes it easier to carry. You also get a wireless charging pad. You get 2 AC outlets that are rated to continuously output 300 watts. I think the max output for this unit is 500 watts at surge. You get these power buttons right over here. This button right here is meant for the Bluetooth connection that allows you to connect to the ALLPOWERS app, and so you can control this power station via Bluetooth using the ALLPOWERS app. I'm going to be showing that in just a second. This is to activate the DC ports. Just by pressing that is going to activate, I believe, the oh, not this side. Yeah, it's going to activate the charging ports and also the DC ports, the DC barrel ports, and the AC button. I think you gotta hold that one down. Yeah, so you gotta hold down the AC outlet button, and it activates the 2 AC outlets right there. When it comes to activating the AC outlets, however, one thing about this power station that is a bit of a negative is that the fan turns on and runs continuously as long as you have the AC outlets turned on, and this uses a bit of power. So the power will run down actually, even if you don't have anything connected to the AC outlets, because the fan is still using power from the power station. So just something to know. I mean, I think that goes for every power station that uses a fan, right? so I suppose that makes sense. Over on this side, as you've probably seen by now, there are 2 LED flashlights. You can just press the power button right there, and one turns on. And this one has its own dedicated button as well. So that's pretty cool. 2 flashlights. They're pretty bright. And over on this side, as I mentioned before already, there are 4 charging ports and 2 DC barrel ports. 3 of the USB Type A ports are rated for 15 watts. The USB-C power delivery port has a 100 watt power delivery output. So that is great. 100 watt power delivery ports are mainly meant for higher capacity power stations, but they went all out in this case. And also the USB-C port can be used as an input port to recharge the unit at 60 watts. So you can actually use this USB-C port to recharge the power station. And the 2 DC barrel ports have a 12 volt 5 amp output. And so just taking a look over at this side, there is a DC cigarette lighter port that has a 12 volt 10 amp output. And for these input ports right over here, the unit does have a Anderson input port and a DC input. Not too sure why they had both, but I mean, I'm going to assume, of course, like as you probably saw with the solar panel, it includes a DC and Anderson solar cable. And so you can use either of the cables that come with this solar panel to recharge this power station, which is pretty cool. I have used both the DC and the Anderson input for solar recharging, and they both performed practically the same way. Just something to know. And over on this side, I don't think, yeah, there's nothing on this side. And just taking a look at the bottom of the unit, it just has the specifications, and that's really about it. And yeah, with that said, let me show you guys the application compatibility with this ALLPOWERS power station. And let me just get that set up, and I will be right back. Alright, you guys. So when it comes to using the Bluetooth app, you just have to make sure that you turn Bluetooth on with the power station first, and all you have to do is just hold down this Bluetooth button right over here until the green light turns on. And then you go to the app, and you basically just make sure that you have your Bluetooth on your phone, and the app will automatically pick up on the power station, and you can just click on it, and the application connects to the power station. But yeah, that's really about it when it comes to connecting the app and the power station. It's pretty easy. And so when it comes to the app, it displays the power capacity remaining, the remaining time that you have left with the power capacity, the input wattage, the total output wattage, and also lets you remotely control what you want activated. So from here I can remotely turn on the AC outlets just like that. As you can see, the screen didn't turn on though, that's weird. There we go. So yeah, it lets you turn on the AC outlets, the DC ports as well, like the DC barrel ports and the USB charging ports off to the side. So that's pretty cool. It also lets you turn on both the LED lights at the same time. Just be ready. I'm gonna turn them on. It's gonna be pretty bright. Yep, just like that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, really bright lights right there. And so yeah, pretty simple app right there. Not as complicated or like as intuitive, I would say, as like the EcoFlow app with the EcoFlow power stations, but still, I mean, it's pretty cool. You know, having this mini power station being compatible with an app, it's nice to have. Is it a need to use the app? Not really. I mean, it's okay. But it's still pretty cool to remotely control things instead of having to interact with the power station directly. And for some reason, the application considers this to be a S400 power station, even though the name is a S300. Not too sure why, but I guess the application is just programmed that way to recognize it as a S400. And so yeah, that's really about it when it comes to the app compatibility. And so I'm just going to jump straight into testing the DC capacity and the AC capacity, and then I'm going to move on to testing out the AC outlets a little bit more, and we'll be testing out the charging ports after that, and the solar recharging as well. All right, let's get to DC capacity testing first. All right, you guys, so just running the DC capacity test for the ALLPOWERS power station, just running it through the DC cigarette lighter port. Just have this load tester running until the capacity of the power station reaches 0% to see how much of that capacity I can actually use through the DC port. And yeah, just taking a look real quick. I've had it running only for a few minutes so far, and we're still at 100% for the power station. And I will be right back to see how much of the capacity we can actually use through the DC cigarette lighter port. All right, I will be right back. All right, you guys, so after about 2 hours, I did run down the capacity for this ALLPOWERS power station down to 0%, because I don't think, yeah, it says 0% right there. And so, yeah, I mean, the DC capacity test lasted for 2 hours, and I ended up with a 251 watt-hour capacity that I could use from this cigarette lighter port. And so what I got was a 87% efficiency rating, which is really good, because anything within that 80% or above efficiency when it comes to power capacity is just really good in my opinion. I think others would agree as well. And in this case, we're really close to 90% efficiency, so you're able to use most of that 288 watt-hour capacity from this power station. And so yeah, I mean, that is the DC capacity test right there. And so let me just go ahead and get this power station recharged back up to 100% and run a AC capacity test to see how much of that capacity I can actually use through the AC outlets. And I will be right back. All right, you guys, so just back with the ALLPOWERS power station. And so I did recharge the unit back to 100%, and I'm running the AC capacity test now. And I am powering this large crock pot right over here at its high setting. We're currently getting an output of about 207 watts. And just a reminder that this unit does have a 300 watt continuous max output, so it's able to power this large crock pot with no problems at all. And I do have the watt meter connected to one of the AC outlets right over here to measure the watt hours. And so yeah, I'm just gonna wait until the unit is down to 0% to see how much of AC capacity I can pull from the All Powers power station. I will be right back. Alright you guys, so I did run down the capacity for this power station down to 0% by powering the crock pot. And so yeah, I ended up with 230 watt hours of capacity, and that gave me about a let's see here, a 79% efficiency through the AC outlets, and so that's pretty good. Not exactly great because it's like not quite within that 80% range, but I say that's okay as long as it's not like within that, I don't know, 60% range of efficiency. I think the AC capacity efficiency for this power station is good. And also something else I wanted to show you guys, because I'm actually recharging the unit right now, that I might as well just show you guys the recharging for it using the AC charging brick. And so this unit is also capable of pass-through charging, because I am actually recharging it via the included AC adapter, and it's recharging at about, I think, 70 watts. Something cool that I found is that the screen, it periodically changes between the input wattage, you know, the recharging wattage, and also the output wattage. I'm not powering anything right now other than this watt meter, and the watt meter itself isn't showing any wattage output. So I'm not too sure why it's showing a wattage output, but it just is. I think the AC outlets automatically draw a little bit of power when they're powered on, so just something to know. But yeah, pass-through charging is possible with this small unit, thankfully. I also wanted to test out if I could recharge using the AC adapter and also the USB-C input to see if I can get a faster recharge speed. Looks like that's happening, yeah. Because I think the manual actually says that you can use the included AC adapter and a USB-C cable to recharge the power station even faster. Yeah, I think right up here, 140 watt maximum input, and that can recharge the power station from 0 to 100% in about 2 to 3 hours. So the dual charging method for this power station is great. That's another feature that's pretty cool. We're currently getting a 125 watt input speed, not quite the 140 watts, but it worked. And so yeah, that is the AC capacity efficiency and the recharging test via the included AC adapter and the USB-C cable. There we go. Alright you guys, so just outside with the All Powers mini power station, just recharging it using the 100 watt All Powers solar panel, and it is a clear sky day, so I have full sun exposure on the panels, and currently getting about a 44 recharging speed, a 44 watt recharging speed for this 288 watt hour mini power station, which is pretty decent, especially, you know, considering that this is a 100 watt solar panel. This is pretty good. I am recharging it using the DC input port instead of the Anderson input port. Not too sure if the recharging speed would vary depending on what port I was using, but I just find the DC input more convenient to use. And so yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna have it recharge probably all day. We're currently at about 43% right now. Yeah, 43%. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave the power station and the panel outside. I don't think we're gonna be getting rain today, and I'm just gonna come back probably at about 5 o'clock when the sun is starting to go down to see how much of that capacity I was able to fill up from the solar panel. And so yeah, I mean, this is a pretty awesome test. I just chose to have the solar panels just flat on the floor for a maximum sun exposure. And yeah, I will be right back to see the results of this solar charging test. Alright you guys, so just back after about 6 hours, and so I started this test at about 11:30. I think it's about like 6 o'clock now, and the power station is at 86%. So that's pretty decent, because we started at 43% and got it up to 86%, almost to 100%, using this 100 watt solar panel from All Powers. And so yeah, there we go. Solar charging does work pretty well. You know, I could have probably gotten to 100% if I placed the solar panel outside earlier, and also because this unit has a lower capacity, it's easier to fill up even with a 50 watt recharge speed. Alright you guys, so I do have these two crock pots connected to the two outlets on the power station, and I'm just going to power them both to see if they're both able to run from this All Powers unit. And I think the power output should be 300 watts when they're both set to their high setting. Yeah, 300 watts right there. And so what this is going to be is a stress test, basically. I'm going to have the power station run at its 300 watt output for about 10 minutes to see if the unit can actually handle a continuous 300 watt output as it says it's able to. And so yeah, I'll be right back after 10 minutes to see if the unit is still on and powering these two crock pots right over here. All right, be right back. All right, you guys, so it has been about 10 minutes and 30 seconds and the ALLPOWERS power station is still running with these two crock pots being powered simultaneously. We've still got that 303 watt output going on. So yeah, this unit is performing how it's supposed to. It is able to continuously output 300 watts, and for such a small form factor, that's pretty impressive to me. And so once again, I mean, 300 watts of power output isn't too much, but of course, if you're going to be getting this power station, you already know what you want to power. You know, those small low wattage appliances are going to work well for this unit. And so yeah, there we go. And also the 500 watt surge output, basically that means that it can power you know, at a surge for a few seconds, and then the unit will automatically shut off. So I mean, in this case, I'm pretty sure if I were to power a appliance at about 350 watts, the power station would automatically shut off, simply because that's way over the continuous 300 watt max output. And so yeah, that's just something to know. And yeah, there we go. That is the AC outlet test right there. All right, guys, so just testing out the charging ports off to the side. I am charging my Lenovo laptop from the USB-C port, and we're getting about a 21 watt input speed going on right there. And the Galaxy Note 9 is charging from one of the USB Type A ports, standard charging right here. So I don't think the USB Type A ports on the power station feature quick charge. Otherwise, my Galaxy Note 9 would be fast charging. The USB-C port is probably the best port on the power station because it's able to output 100 watts of power delivery. You know, that's going to be able to fast charge most USB-C chargeable laptops. And so yeah, I mean, there we go. Charging is pretty good. I just wish that these USB Type A ports would feature quick charge, but they don't. Honestly, that's fine. This is a mini power station, so I'll give it some slack right there, especially because of that 100 watt power delivery port. And so yeah, that is the charging from the ALLPOWERS power station. And so when it comes to the wireless charging for the unit, in order to activate it, you just have to make sure that the DC outlet section is on, and you can just place your wireless charging compatible phone on top right there, and it will automatically start charging it. Right here, I got my Galaxy Note 9 wirelessly charging at the top. All right, you guys, that is my review for the ALLPOWERS S300 portable power station with a 300 watt continuous max output and a 288 watt hour capacity. It's a good unit, I'd say, for a mini power station. You know, you're not going to be able to power high wattage appliances. You know, it's not exactly a generator. This is a portable power station at its base, in my opinion. The screen is nice. It gives you an estimated runtime as well as the wattage input and output and the power capacity remaining as well. And also the Bluetooth compatibility with the unit is a nice touch. I don't know too many mini power stations that are compatible with an app via Bluetooth. And overall, it performed pretty well through my testing, you know, AC capacity testing, the DC capacity test, when I ran the 300 watt max continuous output test, running two crock pots at the same time. It did really well right there as well. And yeah, I mean, overall, a solid power station. If you're looking for a mini, pretty inexpensive unit, I would recommend this one. The solar recharging also worked pretty well, along with ALLPOWERS' very own solar panel. And because I could realistically recharge this unit on a clear sky day and get it up to about near its full power capacity. And so yeah, down in the description below, I will have a link to the product page, as well as a link to the review article for this unit at chargerharbor.com. You can find that down in the description below, and I will see you all on the next video. All right, goodbye.